Hi, my name's Jon Binnie, and I was asked by a dear friend, Agnes, hello if you're watching, to record a short video just to explain some of the basics about how to learn guitar. And so I've been writing songs every day, and since 2017, I've written over 2,300 songs. And whilst the number is many, the practice is, for me, an everyday, it is a daily commitment. And even if it's just 30 minutes every day, whatever it is you choose in your life, you will get better at it. And so that's my first tip for you, is to practice every day for at least 30 minutes and set aside that time. Secondly, make sure you have a good setup. So have a guitar. This is a Lindo Karma acoustic guitar. And make sure you have your guitar nearby, like have it in a place where you can sit quietly and you can play, or loudly if you wish. I also have a guitar stand, and I just wanted to show this because it is a Hercules guitar stand. You can get them from Amazon and other retailers, and you see these little kind of teeth at the top when you place the guitar into it. So when you place the neck like into the stand, it holds it beautifully. You can also just put a piece of string like over the top, just the top here of the neck, and put a little nail on the wall and hold it like however you choose. That's also really important. It'll help you if you place your guitar in a safe space, that it's not going to like bang and get out of tune really easily. That said, that's my next tip. Tune every day. Tune before you play, and sometimes during also, especially after the first play or so. And I use a clip-on guitar tuner, and I also set my tuner to 432 hertz, and that's the frequency, the heart frequency. So for me, it really resonates in my music, really sharing that intention of love. It is 8 hertz lower than most music today. Most music is about 440 hertz. And so bringing it down 8 hertz does down tune the guitar very slightly by like a semitone or so. And the next thing is playing guitar. So I would recommend you start with something simple and practice it a lot. So just like learning anything, it's really helpful. Like imagine bodybuilders, when they go to the gym, they start out quite weak, but they're learning the practice and the technique, and it's the repetition each day that allows that growth to happen. And it's the same with guitar. And so the first 3 chords that I started with, and this is quite common for many, and you can find loads of books that have like literally hundreds of 3 or 4 chord songs. There are just so many. And so that's a great place to start as well, because you can find in books like that a song that really resonates with you. If you enjoy singing, or even if you just enjoy singing in private, then having a song that you can sing along to will also help you with the structure and the rhythm. So the first guitar chord that I learned, so hopefully you can see this on the camera. So this is just the top of the neck here. This is the E chord, and it sounds like this. And so I have my my index finger here, and it's just 1, 2, 3, 4 strings down. And then I have my second finger here, and it's just on the second string down. And then the third string has the third finger. So you can just about see that shape. I'm trying to show you on my camera. I love E, and it's a great chord for, it feels like it's the lowest chord that the guitar can play. And it's like a great starting point because it doesn't require too much effort. When I was first starting, I often found that you get sounds like this, or like crackling noises like that when you're not quite pressing down hard enough. And so really practice on being able to have a really clean sound where each string oops, there we go. Making sure that they all sound really clean. And what'll happen to your fingers is, you can see on mine, they're just indented slightly. Your fingers will toughen, and this is part of the reason why you should do this every day. It's not really visible to once your fingers harden, so to begin with they kind of blister a little bit. And then after a few weeks they'll harden, and it's really funny because you can touch, like you can pick up like hot plates and things like that, and you don't really feel it. And it's your body's way of really protecting and hardening the skin in that area so that you don't have to feel any pain. And so practicing again and again and making sure you get that really clean sound really helps. Okay, so that's the E chord. And then the next one that I learned was the A chord. And so this is, it's funny, I always imagine it as a triangle, but it's more like a diagonal. And so the index finger is just here. And you don't play the E string, this top string here. You don't play that. And this is because the root chord, the root note has shifted up to A, so up onto the second string on here. So this is E, this is A. And the next finger just goes below it, so it goes just below in the next string, and that's the G string. Okay, hopefully you can see that. And then the next finger goes in the string below that. And that's the B string. I think it's a lovely clean sound. I always think A sounds like a very happy chord. Okay, so that's first finger on the D string, second finger, G string, third finger, oops, on the B string, there we go. So now you have two chords, you can switch between them. That's also big practice, right? You want to be able to do it without looking, really. So shall I try it without looking? A. That's E. And then A. So try and get really fast at it. Sometimes I would practice like this, go. And that practicing between the two shapes is really creating this like muscle memory. I would say that it is not really a conscious thing for me to switch between them. I just know that I know the destination pattern. And so that's the thing to focus on, is don't think about, this finger goes there and this finger goes there. Just imagine in your mind's eye that next, the final chord that you want to position your fingers to, and your fingers, allow your fingers to find the path to it. Okay, and then the D chord. So this is up on these three strings here. And so it starts on the G string. And it's the G string on the second fret. And then you can go to your second finger, and that goes on the high E string. So you've got a low and high E string. That's quite cool, just with those two fingers. So yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but I've got my second finger on the bottom E string here on the second fret. And then the third finger goes here. It goes on the next fret, and it goes on the string in between, which is the the B string. There we go. It's a lovely sound. Now you don't play the first two strings. So you don't play those, you just start from here. There we go. And now you can play like 3-chord songs. Some slight variations there, just lifting the middle finger on A. I think that's something like A7 maybe, or A sharp. I'm not sure of the names, but you can play with these. I do enjoy that, like with different chords, like you can go A major and A minor, or whatever this combination is, just by lifting one of the fingers. And same with D. And you might just experiment with those when you're playing. Okay, and the next thing you want to do, now you've got 3 chords, now you're practicing like your chord changes between them and trying to get like a flow. It's really, really important, and something I wish I'd put more effort into earlier in my guitar learning is the strumming. Strumming is just so powerful, and it's actually quite hard, and in some respects I found it harder than learning the chords themselves. And so when I was first shown at school, and I just took a couple of guitar classes at school, they would describe it as like down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. It sounds like donut. So if we try that on E, it's like down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. And that's a great place to start. It feels quite easy. And try and tap your foot at the same time, or nod your head, or all these things. And the more you make the rest of your body like go with the rhythm, the more consistent the rhythm you will create. Okay, and you can also place, you can dampen the chord, so you can place like this part of your hand. You just place it on the string and it causes this dampening effect. And what I'm doing there is just strumming and then releasing it on and off. And then that's like a stroke going up and down. So strumming, like, have lots of fun with it. Explore different bands, listen to things like folk music, like Irish or Scottish folk music, or any folk music from around the world. Often rock and metal has some like really interesting guitar strumming techniques. Flamenco music, like really, really play with it, and it helps you. It's great to start with the basics, and so start with getting that down, down, up rhythm going. And even if you have to start really slow, and then gradually speed up. That was a G chord thrown in. The other trick is when you're strumming, I was shown by another guitarist, like, don't waste your energy like pushing your arm up and down and up and down. Try and use the wrist action even more. Because I used to really just strum like this. And I can feel like my body, my heart, like start to picking up, its heart rate to like cope with the additional movement. And really, you want to try and keep it in and around the strings as much as you can. It's a lot easier. Fantastic. You're doing really well. If you've made it this far in the video, that's really, really good. The other things that I'd recommend is find something that you enjoy singing along to. So one of the first songs I learned, and it was because when I was a kid, my dad started to learn guitar, and he would sing "Leaving on a Jet Plane." Let me try it briefly. Well, my bags are packed, I'm ready to go. I'm standing here outside your door. I hate to let you go. So there, turn the echo off. I could barely remember it there. But that was just a song that allowed me to like just keep repeating and keep playing, and it gave me like this. That was very much a down up strumming technique, which really resonated with me, and it just had this deep connection with me emotionally. Like I felt like even when I get all the words wrong like then, or even when I sing the melody wrong and too low or too high, it was like my go-to to get me started. And I'd often pick up a guitar and I'd start with that song, and you might get sick of your first song quite quickly, but keep with it, like keep going. And also try songs that challenge you with different strumming techniques, like Sympathy for the Devil. Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. That was a lot of fun to do. And what else? And then when you're ready, so over time, this took me a few months, I think maybe 3 or so months to get braver at, but that's barring chords, and especially on acoustic guitar, and depending on the kind of quality and the style of your acoustic guitar, it can be much easier and much harder. But that's to go on and start doing the F chord. So there's lots to learn before then. So you can do like A, D, E, C, G, and this is something like B7 minor maybe. So there's just like many of these chords that you can learn. And I'd also recommend that you get a chord book. They're really helpful because you get ones with I had one that had 100 chords or 101 chords, and it's really helpful to like flip through and find these chords. And they often, for every chord, there's lots of different alternatives that you can play. So yeah, the F chord, it just took me a lot of practice. So that's where you place your index finger, and it has to go all the way across, like a capo does, go all the way across your fret like this. So E, F. And it's really important to get that clean sound. I was only slightly nervous doing that. And it's cool because you can move the chord. And you can do cool things like leave it open so you can actually lift it. And you hear me do that quite a lot in songs. So yeah, that takes quite a lot of practice, but I just persevered. So just keep trying to get nice, clean sound, barring your chord with your index finger. And you will start to get, I don't know if you can see it on mine, quite a few lines like appearing on your finger. My fingers definitely become more used to it over time. And that's why it's so important to do it every day. So to summarize, practice every day. Get yourself a couple of books, like a chord book with 100 odd chords. One that has maybe 100 songs or something with 3 chords or 4 chords. And practice every day with toughening your fingers so that you're switching between like 3 or 4 chords. Find a song that you love, sing along to it, really embrace it, perhaps write one of your own. And then over time, keep practicing on that strumming, making sure that you're exploring and finding it playful and finding it fun. And then finally, really make sure that you're going into the next step. Like each day, try just something that's a little bit hard for you. So do your basics that maybe you get, a bit bored with, and then kind of step it up a little bit. So at least every day you're trying something a little bit new. This is one of my things new for me. This is my first video trying to explain guitar. And really what I described to you is how I learned guitar. And I'm sure there's lots of other things to learn, like, different scales to play. And doing it a lot faster too. But these all come with practice, and it's a great place to start with the chords because they strengthen your fingers. And so much of it's about, like, once you have the physical strength and the toughened fingers and that mindset of practicing every day, you'll then be able to move on and just keep expanding and keep learning more. So I hope this helps you. Thank you so much for watching. Sending my love from Scotland.